gonna sound like shit, dude, because listen, I'm back on my Chromebook. I don't have the mic attached because Windows wants to fucking update, even though I gave it a set time. Anyways, listen, here we are, okay? Deal with the shitty mic, bro. Alright. So we're currently looking at the news drivers today, or for today. Today was Wednesday, and it's gonna be hard to see here. I thought you could. Well, I'm pretty sure. Okay, there we go. I was about to say. All right. So, anyways, here we go. These are the high impact news drivers for today. We had 8:30 FOMC, a 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. news driver. Okay. Now, there we go. I'm gonna get onto my charts. Not this one. Not this one. This isn't even the right one, but it is on my list. So here, it's not my chart. It's my friend's chart. All right. Let's go. Come on, load, 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 load. Wait, did I even load the right chart? Back testing, yeah, I did. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Let's go to the monthly. Monthly. All right, so zoom in. All right, here we are on the monthly. Same idea. Am I currently expecting lower price on the monthly? No. Am I currently expecting lower prices on NQ monthly? No. All right. Why is that? Because we don't have a reason to expect that yet. Now, what I am taking note of is the fact that we are above a level of buy side, and honestly, it doesn't go much further than that. I've been like literally talking about this shit for days. Okay, bro, it's fucking 1 in the morning, bro. I gotta be up at 6 a.m. I don't give a fuck. I'm still here, bro. Listen. All right. Anyways, here we are on the weekly chart. Am I currently expecting lower prices? Well, the very first thing is there's still no direct indication of that. But when looking at the weekly, actually, there's one thing that I noticed, which we'll look at this on the daily chart, okay? But what I'm noticing here, and this is something I've noticed before, is a high with higher high to the right of it. So, and this is also at a higher time frame premium. So in other words, we have buy side liquidity taken and an aggressive run below that. So that in itself is not a breaker yet. What would make it a breaker is after that break lower, if we then were to return to that. And this isn't like clear necessarily on this time frame, nor is it here. But either way, directly looking at this weekly chart, where is the indication of sell here? One down candle, well, that's still not an indication to expect prices to go lower. So still expecting prices to go higher here on this time frame. As I mentioned, now here, when we talk about like quarterly shifts, this needs to be adjusted, okay? Yeah, actually, I think I am looking at the wrong chart. Hold on, I'm a mess, bro. Because this should have my, okay, yeah, I'm on my higher time frame chart. It's still the same. It's still the same logic and concept, but it's not the exact same. So, anyways, I'm not going to go to the chart. We'll just stay here. But in terms of like a quarterly shift, we can reasonably expect that. And let's just actually look at what price is doing right now, okay? So here's what we have, okay, in terms of probability. We're at a higher time frame premium, or we're in a higher time frame premium, okay? We have this high here, and then we have buy side, or the buy stops ran above this high on, we know price is fractal, but additionally, this is happening all above a higher time frame level, or a higher time frame level of buy side. Okay, so buy side's been taken. Now, the very first thing that we need is aggressive movement. All right, looking on the daily, do we have that aggressive movement below the low? Well, yes, we do. Okay, and also in terms of this price action was delivered on one side of the marketplace. So here we go with this right here, these candles. This would be one continuous, these continuous up close candles right before the aggressive download. Okay, that's the order block. Ultimately, we wouldn't expect price to trade past the halfway or the 50% of this. If it does, that invalidates our idea. But ultimately, this in itself, just buy side being ran, that is not a, that is not a determining factor within itself. Ultimately, it's the aggressive run below this low, right? And then expecting price to then get back to that and rebalance that, or activate the breaker, in other words. All right, so that's really all to be said for the daily. Let's go now here. Chewy, go down. Go. All right, go down. All right, hold on, give me a second. Okay, talk to my dog. All right, let's go down to the, should be my, hopefully hit the right chart now. Let me double check. All right, yeah, lower time frame. So I'm going to have to mark these levels of liquidity, but oh shit, bro, I didn't even, okay, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. I gotta go back actually. Give me one sec. Dude, my computer is still updating. If I was waiting for this shit, I'd be up to like fucking God knows how long. Alright. Anyways. Alright, so now that I've spoken on what our interpretation of the daily is, let's see how that transposes into the 4 hour. So here we are. Let's look at this current price action. We have this high here. Buy stops, ran. So buy side liquidity ran. Alright, after that liquidity has been taken, aggressive move below an old low. That's quick movement that we see below that old low. Okay, price retrades back up here. Okay, right, comes here to this low for that. Okay, this is a failure swing as well. If you're looking here, right, price failed to come back above this high with an underlying bullish structure, but that's also after our level of buy side was taken. Now that we've taken the stops here, all right, we can additionally expect price to stops been taken here, right? We can reasonably expect price to come back up here. That's the expectation. That's what I'm saying right now. We are currently expecting price to trade back up here, and we're also expecting price to trade back to that higher time frame low, right? Here's the same thing we're seeing on the higher time frame. So here we go, right? Boom, here, high, higher high, low in between, aggressive movement below it, expecting price to trade that. Is it the same for ES? I don't think so, right? No, for ES, it actually just came down here, but it's not doing what NQ is doing, right? These are, you look here, this is failing to make a new low. It has just slightly tapped it, but very barely. This is the aggressive movement ultimately that we're looking for. Run above an old high, aggressive movement below an old low. If it trades back up to that and doesn't proceed lower, great idea. In terms of like higher time frames. Now, in terms of like entry techniques, all that, I'm still learning. But I'm just talking about, where prices came from, what we're talking about in terms of like institutional swing points. That's also what I'm looking at. So let's go now here. It's kind of hard to see actually. Yeah. But here we are, weekly range, right? Looking at where these weekly candles have gone so far. We're going to copy this real quick and let me tell to him, okay? So ultimately, did price close lower today in the weekly range? Yes, it did. Let's see here, right? And we are consistently seeing that, and it makes sense. It makes very much sense. Why we would be expecting lower prices. Why would we be expecting lower prices? Because price is it's so overbought. Like it is literally, it created a high, and it's the highest it's ever been, literally. So sure, we can, now that price has reached into a premium, we can of course expect price to move into a discount. I mean, that's literally like a no-brainer. But anyways, that's what we're seeing now. And so that's the reason I have that idea. Now I'm still looking at my higher time frames, but even so, right, understanding that this is the higher time frame, monthly that we're above, understanding those lows, understanding where we were in price. Okay, we had this aggressive break lower. All right, price does come up here. Let's see. Revisit, so it revisits this candle or the last up close before the down move, right here, and then breaks lower ultimately. But also this is Friday, so this is New Year's price action as well. We also have this void right here, but ultimately, okay, we have this high. This is a lower high, so it's showing weakness in the form of it's showing weakness because it's going lower, right? We have an aggressive run below this low. Price trades here. Why does it trade here? To rebalance this price range. We still have this right here, which was delivered on one side of the market, so we can reasonably expect price to trade to that. But it's also the same thing here. Aggressive run below that, and we can reasonably expect price to look to these levels. Now, we are seeing aggressive movement to the sell side. This is quick movement, right? This is aggressive movement. This is fast movement, okay? And ultimately, that's what we want to see because we're not expecting price to stay in a premium forever. So now that we've done that, is it any different? Like when I'm pretty much talking about NQ and ES, right? It's the same exact thing, okay? In terms of this, right? Those higher time frame ideas don't change. It's what we, analyze on the daily and how we shift our expectations. That's really what we're studying in these videos because in terms of that, like I said, I mean, we know what the draw on liquidity is. It's very obvious. It's very clear and concise in terms of the monthly. And what I'm learning now is actually pretty insane as well. And honestly, dude, I gotta have that video on repeat like 1,000 times over, bro. Like, I swear that shit is fucking nice. Like, that really, like, makes sense to me. But anyways. Alright. So here, same thing, right? Here is the aggressive movement lower. So here we have the midnight opening price, rally above it. Okay, so accumulation, manipulation, that's a false move. Oh yeah, price is going to go higher. Price is going to continue higher. No. What does it do? It aggressively breaks lower. Why? Well, it's going for this low, and it's also going for different higher time frame levels. But also, we're looking at a shift in structure. So ultimately, here on 15-minute, right? What we're currently looking at is this aggressive run below this low, right? Reasonably expecting price to trade back up here. Now, it has one time here, okay? So we're going to do after that, aggressively trade lower. So here we go, aggressive movement below that, and we saw then price come up here, right? So this low, aggressive movement below it, price trades back up, trades to this order block from here to here. This, all these up close candles consecutively counts as one order block, but ultimately now we're getting into I'm actually combining higher time frame ideas on these lower time frames. Obviously there's a lot more noise here, but the idea is ultimately every day we've been consistently seeing lower prices. Now in terms of what I mentioned yesterday for a potential consolidation, that idea isn't out of the window yet. We are above an old high, but what I'm really noting here is the Nasdaq's price action. Now understand there's this low, this low, this low. There's also extremely amount of different lows that we're expecting price to go to. And in terms of the sideways price action, now we have aggressively ran through that, okay? So we can reasonably, we got to be flexible and see what price is going to do. Hasn't done the same here for NQ. When we look at the candles, we look at these different days, right? We can see that price just ran below that low. And again, in terms of like what I was explaining for a breaker, right? Firstly, we would expect a more aggressive run below these lows. I believe that the week may actually just close below those before, coming up early at the beginning of the week and then closing lower. But we'll see. Obviously, I can't predict that price action. But what I'm really doing here is I'm submitting to time in terms of like I'm watching this price action. Okay, I'm seeing what it's doing. I'm not making a decision right now. I'm just literally, watching it as a spectator to see where it's gone, where it's came from. And in terms of what we're looking now, there's a level of sell side running out this low, right? What we're looking at from the higher time frames into the low on the Nasdaq. So it hasn't completely invalidated our idea of a consolidation, just because, right? If we look at this weekly range from here to here, or what I was saying, right? From like here, if you really look at it, this is sideways price action. And in terms of like this low and these lows, they're all very much relative to each other. Now price did run out these lows, but this is on the Nasdaq where we're seeing more aggressive movement. Okay, in terms of the sideways price action, the back and forth, the up, the down, then up slightly. Right now we're running out all these stops. Okay, we're moving into a discount within this range. But ultimately, we're going to see and continue watching what price wants to do. But I'm looking at that higher time frame, looking at us running that level of buy side, and we're going to continue to see where it goes moving forward. But even with this, just taking note of the fact that we've had multiple consecutive days of lower prices, that's something to note as well. I mean, if I was trading and I was able to see this, right, consecutive days of lower prices, then, and understanding where price is drawing to, because we understand that there's stops below all of these different lows here, and we're moving from a premium to a discount now. So keeping that in mind. But yeah, so I just watched the second video for a PD arrays. I understand the order it goes in. I was able to do the way I remember it, MBLFBRO. Okay, and I'll explain that in the next video because it's just so stupid. But as you can see here, 1255, bro. Listen, this is the fucking shit that we're doing this year, right? I swear to God, I would rather be dead than be a fucking failure. And I'll be a failure if I give up. So anyways, I guess I'll leave it at that, and peace out for now.